Attention crew, this is your captain speaking. I'm Captain Foley. Please sit down, listen, and enjoy Trekyards.
Well, I'm part of the crew and I'm sitting down. I'm comfortable. Hi, I'm Commander Goggins, your friendly neighbourhood, not announcer. I'm the one actually on deck doing the work while Stuart sits in his room and has Saurian brandy and gets to...
Oh, here's the Saurian brandy bottle right there.
I was right. But we're talking Discovery today. What an intro. See, these aren't planned, and you can tell.
No.
What are we doing today, Stuart?
Well, today we had the opportunity to look at the Star Trek Discovery 2018 Annual from IDW Comics. Fantastic story. It's kind of a prequel to Discovery. It's worth checking out. IDW does some great stuff.
It's the Stamets-Spore Hugh story.
Backstory, yes.
Yes.
Which is very interesting. But anyway, and we noticed a discrepancy, as we tend to do. It could be subtle, it could be a mistake, but it's worth talking about because it's very interesting and it brings up a very valid point that we've been talking about for years now.
So the first picture, the front cover, look at the bottom half as we fade in. The USS Discovery, a majestic ship. For some reason the Spore is half turned, but that's actually kind of cool. It's a nice detail. We know what she looks like. There we go. And then, Stuart, what page should everyone go to? And we'll just cut for the audience.
Well, they should flip to page 38.
38. And the top of
Yes.
that page, we see
Yes.
the USS Discovery.
We do, and it's very beautiful, and it's not brown. And that's the end of the discussion.
Nope,
there you
it's
go,
not.
guys.
Nope, Stuart.
Oh,
what
No.
do we not
Oh.
see? There you go. That's the hint.
Oh. We don't see a window on the bridge.
And straight people are either saying, "Oh yeah, you're right," or "Shush" about the window.
Yeah,
But that's interesting, isn't it?
it is very interesting.
Before we go into depth, there's another thing which I hadn't noticed until right now. The inner ring is filled in
Intriguing.
like the Alpha. Now, what's great about this story is that this is a new comic, right? Discovery was airing 2017. And before that, the VFX and things were done, especially the early episodes. So it was, things were done ahead of time. This must have been done ahead of time as well, especially the approvals. And yet, it's got no bridge window and a filled-in piece. Now, could that be they're using the old version? Some weird in-between step when, whatever. Or, because this is right as Stamets joins Discovery. So what does that mean, maybe? Stuart, what do you think?
Well, this is obviously one of the Crossfield class before the Spore upgrade, which would hollow out that ring and maybe alter the bridge for some strange reason. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. I like that. I never noticed the ring thing, but yeah.
Yeah, this is, as being shown, the Crossfield pre-anything Spore. Because he's literally getting there now. It was designed around it, or it could just been modified around it. But yeah, I would love to see the Discovery with that inner ring filled in. That would change it and fix a lot, and the bridge window as well. I mean, you could argue, well, we know why it has to spin, because it has to spin. Okay.
Reasons.
That's fine. Window, what do you think? Because there's got to be a reason beyond they forgot to draw it in. Because they got to draw more things inside with more things. That's quite a big omission, really.
Yeah, well, it could just be a mistake on the artist's part.
Which got through CBS licensing. And all the appeal in between. Considering they had a window on the first page. So,
Yes, the cover of the book, which we already saw, does have a window still. And that's fine. I mean, windows have become the standard since 2009, JJ's version, which is sad, but
it's just
there's been a
Trek Canon is all. It's not
there's
Prime
been a lot of
style.
arguments that the Cage had it with the black with the square. They didn't.
If you look
But
at
anyway,
the sizing, they don't match up. The
Yeah.
size of-
so it could be a mistake that got through the approval process, which is sad. It could also be a legitimate, this is the way it was before it was changed, and I like it. This looks more Star Trek. It looks like the bridge module of the refit design with the little lights underneath, and it's nice. It's good. It's pleasing to my eye.
Yeah, good summary. Yeah, it changes it, and it adds extra levels dimension to the ship. Form should follow function, and if it was changed in form to fit its function, then what does because people said, is there any more Crossfield class? Yes, the USS Crossfield, presumably NX, because that is what you do when you test a ship. But that was before they had the Spore tech, because these are the only Spore drive ships. That must be we're testing the space frame, because you can't test it's like testing the improbability drive in Hitchhikers. You need to test the ship before the drive. You don't test them at the same time, because if everything goes wrong, everything goes wrong. So this is the launch version, and Window's a weird one because it both is limiting and freeing. You get the ability to have 0 sensors and yet still view, although since 99% of the time you'll either be in warp or just in blank space. There is
or
no
ships
view.
So far away you're not going to see them anyway.
Yeah. What is 50,000 kilocams? Is it visible enough to see, it in those movies, whatever? But I can see that, Spore Drive really unstable. You don't want to be locked in this black box. If you add the window, which is the Canon, Kelvin, blah, blah, blah. If you add the window, then you've got the backup ability. Although I guess the Shinjo had them, and although maybe that's shutters, we never really got to see those. Whatever. Again, we're giving them the extra benefit of the doubt of design that they didn't. They just wanted windows for sake of see scale, see ship, see people, cinematic, rather than prime Trek canon, ignore. It's like one of the first questions in the school of Trek design. Do you have bridge window? No. Good. Next question. Look at all the ships and anyway. But you can sort of see, if you get lost in a intergalactic realm and all your power's down, a window might actually be useful. Or they've got those two-sided windows and there's lots of windows all over the place. Whatever. But I could see it being useful for the captain.
And as we've stated many times, we don't have a problem with the window as a view screen. It's a great idea in a lot of science fiction. That's what they do.
Although less
they have
techy.
Overlays. Well, it can be less techy, but more techy because you have overlays that you can move around and stuff.
Why not do it on a view screen as well, though?
In case it fails, perhaps, like we just talked about. But anyway, we personally don't have a problem with view screen as a window, just not in Star Trek because it's not established until 2009.
Yeah, just prime Trek, keep to the prime. Anyway. But this is really interesting, and go back to the Inner Ring. I really enjoyed that from the first one. I liked the Franklin influence, though it shouldn't really be a Franklin influence given how it's newer than the original Cage Connie, although not by registry, but whatever. Although again, they did say that specifically the Discovery was fresh off the production line. The Crossfield herself might be, say, 3 or 4 years old as like a random science vessel, and they refitted for the new versions, and that would be really interesting if the actual base ship was older. Especially considering we see them still use older transport technology than the Cage version, yet it's a newer ship. Obviously,
the lateral vector transporter system.
Well, that's Shinjo, which is even older. Right. But it's still an older version because it's bigger and bulkier and TOS, Cage. But that's just visual reboot. You can't have a small little cubicle. But if you actually take it as what they've said, the Prime Canon, but you can't because they've visually rebooted the Prime Canon, so you can't anymore because they've jumped to a different line. But I love the locked in bit, and all you have to do is look, it's open now. Now it's not. It's that easy.
But it functions the same either way because it's
Yay.
still a view screen. Yay!
Yeah. Well, view screen too. I meant for the spinning bit, but yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, is it a really interesting sort of find? It's such a small pain, but again, it had to get approved by someone at CBS Legal. It had to get through the editors, the writers, the writers, the artists, the editors, the licensing. They had to approve it's being printed. And yes, you can make mistakes, but in the official proto Discovery novel,
And the Discovery Alpha, as we call it, the one we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, the first glimpse with the different nacelles and stuff, it could be that's how the Discovery looked at launch. And then it got refitted to include the Spore Drive. They increased the nacelle length, changed out the saucer, made some changes. I have no problem with that. I really like the Discovery Alpha version that we saw. A lot of people hated it, but, it is what it is. So, but yeah, it's an interesting find. It's definitely worth pointing out because they make a huge deal of that big view screen, that window in Discovery. I mean, it takes up the front half of the bridge. I mean, you've seen shots panning in and out of it. It's very dynamic that way, so I do like that aspect for storytelling. But
visuals rather than storytelling.
Yeah, sorry, visuals. Listen to him, Mr. Movie Making Man. So anyway, but this is very interesting. I do like the way it looks here without a window. I want to see more of that, please. Again, that's all I have to say.
I mean, they've even shown that for some reason somehow they have fully 3D holograms that are pretty much flawless. Just have a holographic wall.
Yeah, Enterprise E in First Contact, was it First Contact? Yes, went out of their way to not even have a view screen. They had a wall. They didn't even have a window. They had a wall. And then they projected the view screen on the wall.
And then they brought the window.
It probably would have been easier to have a window. It would have made more sense. But they went out of their way to not have one.
Well, they went out of their way to bring the window back in Nemesis with the torpedo.
Yes. Exactly. And that was a very nice window.
And they can only do audio only because the view screen was broken.
Yes.
So yeah, there you go. Bit of interesting licensed information there. Are we seeing the proto canon Discovery, or at least official Discovery? Yes. I would love to see more. I hope they do more of these comics in between. I hope they take a bit of creative license and show us this version of Discovery. I'm kind of eager to see it.
Mm-hmm. Explanations, please. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Put your thoughts down below. As always, like the video. That helps us out. Subscribe to the channel. That also helps us. Click the notification icon. That helps you guys. Let you know when we release something new. And check out the Facebook page, Trekyards, Instagram, Twitter. We have a lot of different social media. So check it out. A lot of fun stuff going on all the time.
Yeah, and if you want to support us directly, Patreon or Trekyards.com. Click on that donate button. All good ways to help us, to help you see more cool content. Please do if you can, and you will see us again very soon.
That's right. We're here to bring this stuff to your attention and to spark conversation and debates, I guess. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I am Commander Kongs.
See you guys later.
Bye, guys.